all the signs were on the wall. I mean, the industry was changing over the years, and I had a great run. Like, I learned so much. Doing midday, it was the perfect opportunity. I loved it there. But when I saw the writing on the wall with just how the whole industry was changing, layoffs, downsizing, and then I knew a new consultant was coming in, and I was just like, that was like the end of 2023, that a consultant was coming in. And I was like, I already knew that 2024 was going to be my last year.
There's a certain power in who you know, especially in the business that we're in. If it's right, it tends to blossom, and you become friends, or you become coworkers. It's the wildest thing, and that is what I love about the industry that we're in. It's the people you meet, and you realize that maybe there's somebody else who's just as crazy as I am. And they still love this business just as much. But Sabrina Ruiz is here for the first time. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
So Sabrina, you've been through kind of a whirlwind in the last little while. I mean, but it's and the crazy part is you've gone through it.
Oh yeah.
I've gone through it. A lot of radio people have gone through it, and it's changed so drastically. How are you holding up? How are you doing?
You know what? A lot better than I thought I was going to be.
Good.
I think so. We'll air out the elephant in the room. I quit my job back in November of 2024. So now it's been over 6 months. Not going to lie, at the beginning of it, I was tears. And I was like, why, God?
Yeah.
But luckily during that time, I was busy with teaching. And then my husband and I went on an amazing trip. And I was kind of like, okay, this is my reality right now. And then it came back the new year. And I was like, oh, yeah, this is my reality right now. But I will say, like, it's a cliche thing. Everything happens for a reason. And I'm glad I had a plan B and C and whatnot. So I'd say I'm in a good spot. Yes, I miss radio, of course. That's my first love. But I'm good.
What else do you do?
So I teach a radio class at the University of La Verne.
That is awesome.
Nice.
I've always wanted to teach a radio class.
And it's awesome because it's my alma mater. So it feels even more at home. So it's a radio audio production class. So they do a 2-hour air shift on air on the campus radio station.
Oh, so there's actually a radio station on campus.
That's where I got my start and helped me decide to go to school, I guess.
What does college radio sound like?
They run it just like a commercial radio station.
Wow.
Yeah, which is, at the time I was like, okay, whatever, campus radio station. But then once I got in the business, I was like, oh, we really do it like a commercial radio station.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so the students do their 2-hour air shift weekly on air, Leo FM, and then we
Leo FM.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Leos.
Do they get to play like whatever songs they want, or
music director? They have a music director there.
Wow.
Which
is it full licensing, or I mean,
only licensed to that little part of La Verne because they share a signal.
Okay.
With 107.9, I want to say. What was it? I know it's a Christian station.
Okay.
So out of LA, but they're licensed for the just little area of the University of La Verne. So it's not only if you're driving around.
Is there commercials?
No commercials, but they'll play the PSAs like that are.
That's like what I loved about doing my own little radio station in my garage, even though I had like no listeners besides probably my parents. I had no commercials, but I got to be music director, program director, on-air talent, and I got to have my friends, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun. And everything just went downhill from there. I'm just kidding.
Oh, gosh.
But what a great way to practice and to get experience before maybe branching out somewhere else,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You were smart to stay busy after you quit your job in radio. Yeah. Because for me, I made the mistake of going 110 miles an hour with, 16 titles, as you know how this goes, to a hard wall of absolute nothing.
Oh my gosh.
The abyss. And I kept telling, I said, Michelle, I'm nearly going crazy. We need to do something. There's something that we got to do. And lo and behold, that's when we started building the studio. We got the idea because Michelle actually pulled me aside at a Morrissey concert in Hollywood Bowl. And she's like, so Freddie, you know what would be a good idea? I'd say, because everyone's throwing me ideas like, oh, Freddie, you should do this. You should do that. And I'm like, oh my God, just everybody stop. But Michelle came up with a good idea. She's like, we should do a podcast. And I'm like,
put that in his ear.
I did.
I'm like, I like it.
Because he loves to be on the radio. And what way to do that? What better way to do that than to make your own radio? Yeah. Your own. You could do commercials if you'd like. You don't have to if you don't want to. You can talk about whatever you want to. No rules.
No FCC.
All the rules. Whatever you want.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's the best part, isn't it? You don't have to worry about nothing. You don't have to worry about nothing. You
pick your own guest.
Yeah, you can't fire me.
Yeah, that's true. You can't fire me. You're your own boss.
Yeah, your own boss. It's my own home. But it still is very hard because you've been in radio for how long?
Ooh, I was in radio for over 10 years.
Yeah.
I was that kid that knew what they wanted to do.
Okay.
From a very young age. I was calling up the radio stations.
Which I find odd because I felt like we're the very select few. Everyone wants to, do something else, like become a pilot or, become a professor or
lawyer, doctor.
But we wanted to do radio.
I know.
Why?
Someone's got to do it.
What drew you to radio?
I was a very shy kid. I think that's like the big thing with all radio people.
Yes.
I was very shy.
Right.
In school, I was very friendly, but I was shy. I had to warm up to you. I think it was just my love for the music because I was always in the car driving back grew up in Claremont. We would always go visit my grandparents in East LA. And so we were always on the 10 freeway driving back and forth. My mom would have the radio on. So we were constantly listening to it. And then I discovered that I could use the phone to call up radio stations. And my dad would be yelling, that better be an 800 number. Yeah. That's how old I was. And I didn't know what the heck an 800 number was. And then I would do shout outs trying to record my voice.
That's funny. What stations would you call?
Kiss. Kiss was it's the heritage station in the air.
Who did you talk to when you got through?
JoJo and Ryan Seacrest.
Oh, that's funny. How was that Ryan Seacrest one?
It was always the 6:50 a.m. shout outs.
Oh, okay, cool.
And I would record on my little cassette tape. And then it's funny because my mom was a teacher and I didn't know what cassette tapes I was recording over. So she would be playing it like songs in her class. She taught like first grade. And then the song cuts out and it's like my voice coming in.
Yeah. That's fun.
Yeah,
How
my mom
funny.
was so mad.
She's like, click. Sorry.
When I would call Ryan Seacrest, it was always about my personal life. They're like, okay, so Freddie, who are you dating? What's going on in your life? And at first, it was exciting because I'm like, I get to be on with Ryan Seacrest because I was already working there. But at some point, it started to become too much. And I'm like, I don't want to talk about my life no more. I don't want to do these calls. I get up at 6 a.m. to do these calls. I don't want to do that. No, but Ryan's great, though. That's funny.
Yeah.
I used to call the people at 99.1 KGGI like Jesse Duran.
Oh, and
wow. I did that too.
Yeah, you did?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I tried to win the contest, the
did
concert tickets, once or twice I've gotten like smaller events or concerts, and that was always fun.
Yeah.
I got Wango Tango tickets.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
I asked for a tour of Kiss FM like a total nerd. And
as you should.
Producer Ruben, that's how I met him, and he gave me a full-on tour of Kiss FM. This was in the old building across the street. And this is when Rick Dees was there before Ryan Seacrest. And
oh my gosh!
Am I dating myself?
Yeah, a little bit.
Love Rick Dees.
And so they walk me to the end of the hall. I get in the studio. I sit down. They put the headphones on me, and I'm so nervous. And I'm such a nerdy kid at 17 years old, and I skipped school that day to be there. And he goes, we got Freddy Rivera from Rancho Cucamonga High School. So Freddy, listen, you drove all the way over here. You're excited. You thought you were going to see somebody famous. Instead, they put you in the room with me. Now you're disappointed. How do you feel? And it was funny. Anyway, he awarded me 4 Wango Tango tickets that day.
That's awesome.
It was.
Oh my goodness.
It was an unforgettable.
Do you have that air check?
I do somewhere. It's on CD. Oh. Yeah, I got to find it.
Bring that out of the archives.
So you were working there for a while. Why did you quit?
All the signs were on the wall. I mean, the industry was changing over the years, and I had a great run. Like, I learned so much. Doing midday, it was the perfect opportunity. I loved it there. But when I saw the writing on the wall with just how the whole industry was changing, layoffs, downsizing, and then I knew a new consultant was coming in, and I was just like, that was like end of 2023 that a consultant was coming in. And I was like, I I already knew that 2024 was going to be my last year.
You know, every time I hear the word consultant in our industry, I think of like Darth Vader is coming inside the studio to start changing everything. Because what else is a consultant going to do?
A consultant for us non-radio people.
So outside boss that's going to like tell you what you need to do, how to make the station better, and give their opinions.
We're going to make improvements.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like outside HR or something.
And that's when they're like, we're going to get rid of all these people and bring in my people, that kind of thing.
Yes. So when they told me that we were getting a new consultant, I was like, all right, bet. I already know what's going on. So then I was just like, okay, we'll see how this year plans out.
Yeah.
Me and the consultant, I'm going to just say it, we butted heads.
Really?
Oh, for sure.
Well, what was that person like?
Very arrogant. I mean, it's not uncommon in this industry. But I felt like I kept having to prove myself to them.
Okay.
And it sucked because I'm like, yes, I'm the youngest one in the building, but I'm in demo and they didn't even take that into consideration. And it was time and time again where I had to like just let him know what I know about the station and what direction, what works and what doesn't. And it went out the window and we totally went another direction where I've seen the station go and we went downhill even more so than we were.
Yeah.
And then he had to backtrack and do exactly what I was saying that we needed to do. So I think that was the most frustrating thing.
Isn't that crazy though, how you get an expert to come in and redo the entire station from the inside and they always mess it up?
Oh, yeah.
Because they don't know what they're doing. They're a so-called expert. They're a consultant. They know radio, apparently. They come in with their suit and a tie. And
maybe they don't know radio.
They don't.
They know radio back in the 80s, 90s.
Exactly.
But it's a different beast now.
It really is.
So,
and they always seem to mess it up. It's never a positive thing when a consultant comes into a radio station.
Oh, no. So it was constantly like trying to prove myself. And then it was like micromanaging to the extreme.
Let me ask you this. Did you feel that you got into radio at the wrong time? Or how did you feel about that? The timing of it?
And I got into radio when like the radio golden days had just died, I feel like.
That's how I feel too, man. It's like I felt like I was lucky enough to have lived at the end of that because I felt that. I even felt that Rick D's era die out for I was there till the very end. So the energy just transitioned. It went from Hollywood type energy to corporate.
Oh, 100%.
And all the fun just died out. It's like, do I belong here still? You know?
Second guess everything.
Yes, everything. What was it like to work with Jeff Pope?
Jeffrey.
He's a character.
He is. Oh, man. It was fun working with Jeff.
Yeah.
I knew what to expect because I worked with him. Gosh, how many years did I work with him? Like six-ish years, I want to say, or more.
Okay.
Because he came just after I did to the station. And I remember because I was so young when I had met him, and I think he was kind of taken back that I was so young, and there was a huge difference. I don't want to tell huge difference, but there was a good difference.
She didn't mean that, Jeff. She didn't mean
it's
that.
with love. He knows that. But I think he was kind of like, who is this girl?
Yeah.
At first. And I was like, who the heck is this guy? And so it took some time for me to warm up and kind of get the feel of him. Yeah. And then I realized I was like, okay, he's just a crazy white guy.
Yeah.
That's Jeff Pope.
That is him.
What was Rick Shaw like to work for?
So I dealt with Rick for a couple years, but he was never in building.
He wasn't?
No, he was always at our sister station, Katie.
Oh, where's Katie at?
In Temecula.
That makes sense. That makes sense. But that could be a good thing, isn't it? I mean, when you don't have a PD around, your boss is not around all the time, you know?
Yeah. It forced me to learn a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful in that sense.
What was he? Did he ever air check you? Or what?
A couple times. I could count on like one hand.
Okay.
How many times I got air checked.
Okay. And how were your air checks with him?
Good.
Oh, that's good.
I feel like I got over like the anxiety of air checks.
Yeah.
Because back at my previous station, like when I first got my start, oh my gosh, I like dreaded air checks, but they made me better.
It always does.
Yeah.
I always share that story of when John Ivy air checked me. Did you hear that?
I
one?
heard your story about that.
Okay, yeah. I don't want to repeat it again, but Yeah, it was so funny. I walk out like literally with tears in my eyes, and I'm a grown man. And Lisa Marie goes, "Oh, he got you too, huh?" And I'm like, "What is this place?"
It's a humbling moment.
What a blow to the ego, right?
Very humbling, because you go from 99.1 KGGI, Riverside, San Bernardino, where everything's a little bit more relaxed.
Oh, yeah.
You can do fun things. And then when you get to LA, everything's like, it's so buttoned up and you have to be on your P's and Q's. And I mean, if you're making good money, then, that's great. That's the payoff. Would you ever want to go back into radio?
It's that toxic relationship for sure. But I would do it on my own terms. Just like I wanted to leave on my own terms.
Right.
So if the opportunity presents itself and it's like something like, okay, I could see myself there. I'm not going to run myself dry and down to the bones and put myself last. Then I'll definitely consider it. Yeah.
To go back to corporate radio after working in private radio. Night and day, man. It's like you're always worried about your job. There's always somebody younger and better and smarter, and everyone plays a political game so well. You know what corporate radio is versus private radio?
Let's hear it.
Private radio to me is you still get to be yourself. You still get to be the talent, and you still got to work hard. Do multiple roles, but there's still heart and soul. Whereas if you're in corporate radio, you're playing the game of survival. That's it. You're just playing. Yeah. It's just who can survive the best. That's it.
Well put.
You're making better money. Yeah. But, what's more important to you?
Not all money's good money.
Right. Exactly. Is it healthy for the mind and the body and soul?
No.
Now
that I've been out of it, I'm like, oh, wow. That took a toll.
But see, it hasn't been just radio, though. It's been like a lot of industries, right?
Every industry has melted over the...
I wish I was brave like you to just...
Honestly,
the only reason I don't... I know probably my manager Snoop on my page, but whatever.
Yeah.
The only reason I don't is because I don't have another job to fall back on. That's the only reason. Because if I had something coming up or another offer, if I could leave without even telling them, I would. I hit my 20 years this year, so technically I'm fully vested in lifetime medical. I get a retirement. I have a good package because I got in at the right time and I'm a government employee. So to me, that helps. But I went from a big office where I can put all my stuff like this to have to fit things in 2 drawers. And I was there for years. And how do I throw my life away and make it into 2 drawers? Well, we went completely digital. So some of it was easy to convert over. But I felt just like you. And I constantly feel like I have to prove myself to them.
That is
and I'm like a senior there. I hate to say that, but we call them like senior employees because I've been there so long. There's nothing that I don't know. Of course, I can always improve myself, but there's nothing that I don't know.
Can I just say it?
And I feel like you.
She works at Area 51.
Oh my God. Don't tell my husband that. If I tell my husband that, he's going to be like, can she get me in?
They put her on those Janet airplanes, with no logo.
What's funny is it's not a secret because every 5 years I get a certificate with my years of service and I put it on camera and I post a picture of it. I go, only a lifetime to go, 15 years. And now it's my 20. So I'm waiting for my certificate to come so everybody will know.
But can I say something that I've noticed about you? I've known Michelle for a long time and, we just went out to go visit, support Adrian at Goodfellas, and here's the thing about Michelle. Michelle was homecoming queen, right?
Yeah.
Homecoming queen. Michelle is a vibrant, high energy social machine, man. She just has people gravitate towards her in social settings and she just kills it. She absolutely kills it. I've seen a change in you because of this job. I've seen it.
Drain you.
They don't listen to the people they came from. I won't even lie to you about this. A lot of people that are in charge now came from the bottom and worked their way up. And I commend them for that. But all of them have lost sight of what it's like to be at the bottom. And I promised myself I would never do that. Everyone's data. Everyone is a number. Everyone's a stat. And what happened to the human? What happened to
Isn't that almost every industry now, though?
Yeah, that's what you were saying. Yeah. Every industry. I'm like, even though we're nothing alike in our industry, I can totally relate to what you're saying.
Everything you had said, I was like, ooh, that was me, that whole 2024.
Yeah.
Like, this spark just got let out.
Yeah.
Like, it was put out for sure. The fun, it was no longer fun. That's when I knew I was in trouble.
It's no longer fun. And you feel like you can no longer be yourself, right?
Oh, for sure. I was so bubbly, happy. And I dreaded waking up to go to work. So I was like, what am I going to be faced with today? What is he going to pick on me today with?
Yeah, that's how it feels. That's how it feels.
And I knew, like, let's say, what was this, maybe February, March of 2024, where we'll put it out there. Benson Boone, Beautiful Things, biggest song of the year. I played it on the radio, and I was like, I already knew I was going to get in trouble.
They didn't want you to play it?
Oh, he freaked out.
Was it not an approved song to play?
It was the first Friday. It just got released. I did all the right things, playing a listener call, going in that they requested it, came out talking about it, gave some stats, got another listener call. It was perfect. Perfect. Got an email like a couple minutes later, and I was like, all right.
A couple minutes later, like not even letting you off the air?
Immediately, and CC'd my boss, and I was like, okay. See, the thing about me, I'm going to back my stuff up. So we were having a meeting that following Monday. I made sure to have all the data of what was available, because I immediately called the record labels like, hey, send me any data that you get over the weekend.
Great.
How many streams it gets, where it's charting at, all of the above.
Great.
So Monday morning, the record label sends me everything. I print it out for our meeting. I'm like, here's the data that you wanted about this song.
Right.
It was Shazamming like in the top 10. I forgot what number it was in Riverside, San Bernardino market, and the streams and everything. It was a big weekend for that song. And he's like, oh, I guess you're right. Biggest song in Hot AC.
Do you think that maybe he already had an idea of what he wanted to do with you? Maybe that's why you couldn't win him over with anything.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you could tell if they emailed her minutes later that they're sitting there waiting and listening to something that she may say wrong.
Oh, yeah. I knew
wrong.
I was constantly like under a magnifying glass, and I was just like, this is sucky because I know you're not doing this to anyone else.
Yeah.
See, Dallas was like that for me.
Yeah.
It's always gut wrenching when it happens that way.
Yeah.
And then I try to remember, like, okay, it's a business at the end of the day. But yeah, it sucked at the end because I was just like, damn, I gave over 7.5 years of my life to this company. And I know nothing compared to your 17, but at the same time, I was just like, I gave them too much of myself.
Yeah. I felt the same.
Oh, like 100%. Now that I'm not in that headspace, I'm
Now
like,
that you're free?
Yeah, now that I'm free, I'm just like, dang.
So how are you liking life now, post radio? I mean, because you're doing the teaching.
Yes.
I want to know more about that too in a second. But what else are you doing?
I do real estate. So I'm a realtor as well.
Oh, that's right. Hello, I follow you on Instagram. I should know these things. That's right.
So the only way I was able to get into radio was my dad told me, he's like, we'll support you with whatever you do. We'll like cheer you on, but you need a plan B. And I'm so glad that they told me that. Like, yes, I knew what I was getting into, what the market was, how competitive it was. He's like, you need a plan B.
I could hear my mom right now saying, Freddie, I told you to get a plan B. And I never got a plan B because I went I was insanely head over heels. I'm going for broke. That's it. If I fall, I fall hard. But I'm gonna go all in. And maybe that's not for everybody. Let me just put it out there. That is not for everybody. I don't know if I would do that again. But okay, so teaching. I've always wanted to teach radio, but I feel like, radio is kind of, doing its thing nowadays. Do people still want to get into radio?
I meet a few of the students. Some of them have changed their mind in their majors, and I'm like, I don't think you should do that right now.
Right.
But some still do it anyways. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to be real honest with you, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. At least I tell them that. So I think that's one sense in my teaching, because I knew, don't get me wrong, I had great instructors and mentors that I learned from, but I feel like there was the disconnect, especially with this younger generation. You kind of have to talk the slang with them in order to get it through their head. So yeah.
like, give me an example. Like, what do you mean? Like,
oh gosh. Like, I'd use a lot of analogies with them.
Okay.
Sometimes I don't even talk in radio terms. It's just talk life. Because that's really what radio is. I tell them it's just your connection.
Right.
What you can do. So some find their voice in, I'm like, just talk. You're talking to your best friend. And I think that's the biggest thing, just getting them comfortable in front of the mic, because they're all so timid and sounding like a robot. And I'm like, what would you talk to your best friend about? I am your best friend. Talk to your dog. think of that one person, the basics.
Yeah.
And then I find that students over time, at least when the course is over, they're like, I really did enjoy that. That wasn't bad. They blossom. So that's always cool. But with teaching, I feel I was already doing that because of HOT. Like when anyone was new or hired.
Yeah.
I was showing them the board. I was teaching them everything, the ins and outs.
Wasn't that cool to do that?
It was.
People? Yeah, I feel like with kids, I would. If you ever need a guest speaker, let me know.
Okay.
I'd be down to go. Just tell me when. I'd pop
That
in.
would be cool.
I'll book you down for the fall.
Yeah, count me in. I really mean that.
So
do you get those questions like about the industry? Like, well, I see radio is not the same anymore. So how do you feel about that?
Oh yeah, they'll ask me, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. And I would hate to guide someone into a black hole in a sense.
You're going to go somewhere with this.
Yeah.
You're going to be really big in radio. Yeah, you don't want to lie to them.
I mean, there's some that I had great talent over the past couple semesters where I'm just like, dang, you would give me a run for my job. And I'm like totally okay with that. I think that's the goal going into every semester. I want these kids to be better than I was.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Especially because I remember back in my first semester of doing college radio and I was terrible. And then, I mean, everyone was. But it's fun to see like the improvement over the semester.
Yeah.
And there was one kid that this semester that was so good that even Jesse Duran played him on the morning show.
Wow.
Yeah.
No kidding. Really? I was talking to the engineer today, actually, at Cola, and he was telling me, he goes, we went to this radio convention for engineers. It's the overall country spectrum. There isn't that many radio engineers today that are under the age of like 60.
I believe it.
Wow.
It's like, so when they get too old to work, who's gonna work at the antennas and
That's the main thing. Who's gonna keep those on air?
Right.
Natural
So I
disaster.
thought about that. So there's that big radio convention. What is it called?
NEB?
That's the one in Vegas, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And for those who are interested in radio, not just being on air, but there's going to be a calling for engineers because who else is doing it? Because they're all getting older.
Just that ticket price.
Oh, right. That's true.
But you're
Is it
investing.
expensive?
Yeah, it's a couple $100.
Do you think you would be a good teacher?
I would love to teach.
Me too.
I would not like to teach any kind of like elementary school, middle school, high school. No, at the college level, professor, even public speaker, because that's what I love to do. But I could do that.
The way I see it is if a kid walks into a radio class in college and he sees a reel-to-reel machine that he's about to learn, walk right out.
Yeah.
Walk right out. Those things aren't even used anymore.
I
What
like
a
that.
job, man.
Yeah.
That's got to be fulfilling.
It is. And it's fun because I'm surprised in myself how much I enjoy it.
Do you ever have to deal with the parents?
Luckily, not yet.
Okay, good.
Not yet. But
I guess that's more of a high school thing, isn't it? Maybe.
But I've heard that parents will want meetings if their kid isn't doing well. And I remember telling Shane, who's one of my colleagues, and he was there when I went to school. And he's like, oh, you're going to deal with so-and-so's parents. And I was like, why didn't you tell me beforehand?
The good thing for me is I paid for my own college. So I'm like, you don't get access to my grades. Those are mine.
Yeah.
Unless you're paying for my college, you don't need access to how I'm doing, how I'm not doing. And then it's mine. It's something I can have for myself when I was older,
Well, Michelle's off the grid now because she works at Area 51.
Yeah.
So, nobody.
off the grid. No one can check on me
There's no
anyway. If I go
documentation on
missing.
Who did you look up to in the industry?
Oh, I feel like I grew up with Rick Dees.
Yeah.
That was the morning show guy.
Mhm.
And then Ryan Seacrest came in. And then I was always listening to JoJo, Sissany when I would get out of school, Yesy Ortiz, then Big Boy. So all the big names in LA.
Yeah.
And it's crazy when they became my mentors.
You're right. Yeah.
I'm like, wow, you're a real person.
Who were your mentors?
I would still say to this day, Jeff Garcia, DJ E-Man, Yesy.
So a lot of the power crew.
Yeah.
Okay.
I learned a lot. That's the reason why I went to La Verne was because of power. So my story, who said that they won stuff? You won stuff. Okay. You won Wango Tego tickets.
Yes.
So that's actually how I got my foot into the industry because I was that kid that knew what they wanted to do. I won Disneyland tickets.
Oh.
And I made it a mission to win those 4-pack of tickets so I could take my 90-year-old grandpa to Disneyland to celebrate his birthday.
That's awesome. That is so sweet.
So when we went to pick up the tickets, of course, I asked for a tour of the studio.
Like you.
Yeah.
We have a similar story. It's crazy.
So it lit up in me. I'm picking up my tickets. I see a familiar voice, and I had asked, how do I get an internship here?
Yeah.
I wasn't even in college yet. I was a senior in high school.
Yeah. Same.
And so Jeff G, the sports dude, heard what I was saying. He's like, did you ask about an internship? And I was like, yeah. He's like, well, you need college credit. And I'm like, okay. He's like, you want a tour of the studio? And I'm like, yeah. And I was wearing my University of La Verne jacket. Didn't think I was going there because I really wanted to go out of state and whatnot. But he gave me a tour, and he's like, oh, Nora's our intern right now, and she's from the University
Jeff
of La Verne.
Garcia is like the perfect person, right? Because he's so freaking cool.
He's so laid back.
Yeah.
So he gave me a tour of everything, and I'm just like, wow, this is the coolest place. And
when I was trying to get my first board op gig at Real or 99.1, Jeff Garcia called me and said if I want to board op at Power.
oh, wow.
And I was like at a pivoting point. Do I go to Power? And then I landed the job at Playboy. And Playboy was a lot of money for me at that time, you know. So I was like, I just went to Playboy. So that's not. So I never went to Power, but I almost this close went to Power. If I went there as a board op, who knows?
Yeah, your story would have been different.
Way different.
Yep.
Except
it was filming porn.
Oh gosh.
Well, first of all,
just kidding. Did I say that out loud?
I was behind the glass, so it protected me.
Yeah. He had all the protection.
Okay, that's good.
And again, it goes back to all the people that you meet.
Oh, for sure.
It's everybody you meet because you never know. Because I mean, our world can blow up, but the few remaining souls who are alive, you can reach out to and they could help you. You know what I mean? It's a very cool thing. Do you remember that time when radio was trying to get influencers to be like jocks?
Oh, that was terrible.
It was like, what?
I remember you told me that.
And they hired him for a little while. It didn't work out. And they're like, oh, shoot, we made a mistake.
They only look pretty.
And guess whose decision it was? Consultants, radio consultants across the country. We had to do, they have such a big following. We could bring that following to radio.
No, they can't talk.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Crazy.
Even I know that. And I'm not in radio.
Where do you think radio's going to go in the next 10 years?
It's hard. I think it's going to be downsized even more. It's all about there's going to be like very few jocks than there is already now.
Right.
And they're just going to be voice tracked into different markets. Yeah. I would love to see a resurgence. I think every radio person would love to see a resurgence in radio, but I don't think that's going to happen unless corporate breaks down, unless we take down the beast, essentially.
Well, if you want to talk about monopoly, Ticketmaster and Live Nation are being sued. There's a federal lawsuit from, I think it's Congress. I don't know who. The U.S. government is
U.S. government's cracking down on that.
Wow. I'm like, whoa. I go, they own 80-something% of the entire ticket sales in concert industry. Live Nation owns Ticketmaster. So a lot of these bands who wanted to bypass Ticketmaster and say, well, you know what? F them. I'm going to sell them on whatever other SeatGeek or whatever. They would literally terrorize that entire tour and not let it happen because they own practically all the facilities, all the venues.
That's not cool.
And that's the thing. Michelle's industry, Area 51, even them, they're downsizing. not so many UFOs are coming through anymore,
Oh, gosh.
What's going on over there?
Not so many. We kept everything too secret.
But you know what? It sounds like you're happy, though. It sounds like you're doing the right thing by staying busy. How's the real estate market? What is that like?
Oh,
yeah,
man.
Tell us about that a little.
If you want to buy, oh my gosh, I hope you have cash because it's rough.
Yeah.
It's rough.
It is rough out there. I feel like finally it's leveling off because it was crazy. What was that, 2022, where prices were just so inflated.
Yeah.
I mean, they still are, don't get me wrong, but you could have a dumpster fire of a house, let's just say Gardena, closer to LA, needed a lot of, gut the whole thing, but yet it was top dollar. Didn't matter. Now I feel like it's kind of leveling out, but there's still the sellers that think it's that market. They think that they can get the high prices. At that time in 2022, there wasn't a lot on the market. So yeah, it was justified. Supply and demand. But now there's so much on the market.
Well, I asked you too because, a lot of radio personalities I think would be good at real estate. You know?
It's a people thing.
Yeah. That's what it is, right? So when cities offer a little bit of help to say first-time buyers, because I saw Ontario, they are offering $160,000 as a help for first-time buyers in the city of Ontario. Does that do anything?
That is a big percentage of it.
That's huge.
It helps out a lot because I don't want to bore everyone, but there's different ways to buy the home with loans, the cash, all that stuff. So FHA, usually 3.5% down of the purchase price.
Okay.
Then conventional, where you have to put 20% down. Mm-hmm. So if you're getting like over $100,000, that's almost 20% of the loan, and you have better chances of getting that offer in. I think it's a hard game for sure, because there's a lot of uncertainty right now with
businesses doing it, like banks. I mean, buying out, they're going to have $100,000 to put down easily, as a normal person is probably not going to have $100,000 in cash to put down as a down payment. Yeah,
I mean, it helps tremendously, but I think always read the fine print of what you're getting yourself into, because there was like a Cal Halfo one where the state does that same thing, but it could be up to, I forgot what the amount was, but they were offering 20% down of the purchase price of a home. Sounds great. You do these 8-hour classes, you go through like another screening, credit checks. They look at everything before they're like writing you a check over. But the catch was you had to be in the home for like 5 years, I believe, if I'm recalling correctly, 5 years. And then when it came time for you to sell that property, of course, they wanted their cut of the check.
Right.
So you're paying back.
That sounds so stressful.
Like they're lending
that's
you
just, that's just like
your down payment kind of.
Yes.
Some of them they offer you all the incentives, but they put it on the back end in fees.
So always know what you're getting into in anything. Read the fine print, know what you're getting into, because I had a friend that was looking during that time, and I was like, look, when it comes time for you to sell this place, the government is going to want their money back, plus whatever equity you made on your home. They get a cut of that.
So, I mean, basically, these kids have to inherit their or move to Iowa.
Yeah.
You know, speaking of the economy in California, do you think that, what's his name, Sheriff Chad Bianco, you think he really has a chance?
I think so. I think people are like over it.
Yeah. I see what he's doing, and I like a lot of it, but he seems so small compared to like, I guess the big monster, you know, and
maybe it's better that way.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking too, you know?
The bigger the monster, the more the greed.
Yeah. I like them better when they're not in politics, I think.
Right. Yeah, for real. Yeah.
I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger was our governor back in the day.
He didn't know anything about politics.
But people like felt a connection with him because just Joe Schmo had an accent and they knew him as a governor. Yeah. So
the governor, that was the best.
Right?
That was funny.
What a time for California.
I know.
California's been through a lot, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of changes. Even LA, the city of Los Angeles, is not the way it used to be. I mean, it used to be culture. It used to be, you know, a good melting pot of just beautiful people, you know, and now it's just a, you know, polished global city that, you know, answers only to the wealthy.
Yeah.
You know?
Sells $24 cocktails.
I mean, the tall $24 cocktails. The tallest building in downtown LA is showing a Korean flag. Isn't that wild? It's like, that's like we go to like Seoul, South Korea, or to Shanghai, China, and we build the tallest building there with the American flag. How weird would that be?
That wouldn't even happen.
No,
that is weird.
Whatever it takes to get the money.
I think that's what bothers me about real estate, is that we're so hard pressed right now on getting rid of people that are not legal here, right? But anybody that's not from this country can buy any property they want here. I don't, there's something missing.
Oh, yeah.
There's something missing when you can own all of the apartment complexes, all of the condo complexes, and all that from another country and never even step foot on this soil. And all the people here, and you raise the rent $100 every year or $200 every year for rent, and you're collecting millions and millions and millions back home where it's cheap to live. Why are they allowed to do that here? Like, you can't come here and work, but you can come here and buy all of our stuff and take what we should be able to purchase and make money off of here. I don't know.
It's
weird to me.
Okay, well, I'm going to ask you a question.
Oh, gosh. Here we go.
No. Because I think you and I both have the freedom to say how what we feel or what we believe in. You know, you were in radio. Did you ever feel confined or scared of speaking out about your personal beliefs?
I feel like I was very comfortable behind the mic. Of course, I always thought about once I said something that was dancing on those lines or ruffling someone's feathers. I was waiting for the phone lines to light up. Because one thing about me, I'm not an ill person. I don't wish anyone ill. Like, Jesus is in my heart. Like, I may not agree with you, but I'm going to hear you out. And I appreciate your side. And I'm going to have my opinion. I think that's what we lost sight of.
Yeah.
Of being able to work together and coexist in society. And it's like, I always knew that I didn't agree with what the norm was. I was always like, I'm going to believe what I believe, and I'm not going to conform to someone else. Going to stand true to that. So to answer your question, I did speak out on certain things that probably wasn't really popular, and I'm okay with that. And I knew the repercussions of it. And especially, I'm glad that I wasn't in a corporate, because I had the freedom to say essentially what I wanted to say. And I didn't feel like I needed to hold back.
Oh yeah, if you were working for corporate, not only would you probably get bad feedback from the boss, but the coworkers, who were playing the game really well, would also give you a side eye, like,
why would you say that?
Yeah, like I thought I knew you.
I'm gonna say what I need to say, and
right,
and I'm gonna say it out of a place of love.
Right.
And I think that's always one place where I was able to connect with listeners. I would say something that probably wasn't gonna agree with them, or I just brought a different viewpoint.
And I
think that's a discussion.
I agree with that. That's smart, because a lot of people are ready to fight.
Oh,
they're ready to argue. They're ready to do this. They're ready to do that. And Michelle and I have gotten really. We just are good at this. Trying to, dance on the middle line. It's not what we're trying. It's just, it's who we are. Because we've had friends on this side. We've had friends on this side. And I think we've both lived on each side as well.
For sure.
Certain time in our lives. But to be a positive influence in just what you do, around the people is great, because there's people who, who we're going to be there. I think they're probably going to be on our show at some point. And they're so angry. And you could see that in their social media.
Oh, yeah.
And, they're like, blah, 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 blah. And people are losing friends. And keep in mind, we live in a world now where, friends are dissipating and dying off left and right. I mean, my own life, it's like I've lost a lot of friends, not because of politics. It's just, how my life went. And as I got older, you shed a lot of, so-called social fat around you. So, you're basically left with your core as you get older. But, the dumbest thing, and I've never done it, but the dumbest thing is to, get in a fight, lose a friend, lose somebody that you love over, a political belief.
Yeah.
And they're so brave to argue, behind the keyboard, and it's
keyboard warriors. And it's like different, like in person. Would you really behave that way in front? And I think that's always the thing with me. When I do say something that's going on around the world, even with me being on the radio, I did it from a standpoint where I wanted to understand. I wanted to have a discussion. That was the reason why we got into radio. We wanted to make that connection. And sometimes it was reciprocated that way. Sometimes people were just already stuck in their ways. And if they're like that and they're not willing to listen, there's no use of even beating a dead horse.
We'll just change subject. We'll talk about something else. All right. So what's your favorite movie?
Oh, gosh. Oh, I don't know. Gosh.
Oh, we actually really do talk about this, like our favorite movie. We actually do. What is your favorite movie?
Yeah.
Oh, right now I'm thinking White Chicks.
That's such a great movie.
I love it.
Right? Terry Crews?
Yep.
Oh,
I love it.
And yours is...
Mine changes all the time.
Yeah, right now it's White Chicks. I don't know what
it just depends, because I have different favorite movies in different genres.
Yeah. Oh, I was thinking about this too as I was editing the Fajaras. We got to have a movie night, a wine and movie night. And you guys got to come to and watch the movie Sideways. We'll open a bottle of wine.
Sideways. I know. I've never seen it. And you told me
it was such a great movie. And it was just about, Paul Giamatti. And they go off on this little, a bachelor, a getaway before the friend gets married. And it's just a funny, quirky movie. And it's very strange and different. I love it so much.
He likes different.
That's okay.
With movies.
I appreciate it.
I do too.
I'm a weird guy, Sabrina.
You got into radio.
I like
That's
weird, thought-provoking, like psychological, like Vanilla Sky. Like
that was a good one, yeah.
Like psychological, different, that you have to think really deep to watch it. I like
Seven.
Like Seven. Oh, I've seen that movie like 8 times.
They don't make movies like that no more.
No, I've seen Seven like 7 times.
Yeah. Wow.
I don't know. Those ones are the ones that get me a lot.
Are you having a good time so far?
I am.
Yeah. Okay. Are you?
I'm not nervous. We're good.
Comfortable. Okay. Good.
No, I know. I got that. I think you're at first, but
at first I was like, oh my gosh.
It's easy to open up because we want to make it a show where it's just like we're having coffee with friends or something, having a water with our friends.
But you know what's wild is what I've learned. I don't even have these rich of conversations in real life sometimes. And that's why I enjoy this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I'm learning a lot from people, all different walks of life. Someone like you, for example, who we've had a very similar, upbringing in this industry. There's people who, are completely different than me, and I'm learning from them. And it is I'm not downplaying this. It's a superpower when you begin to learn how other people think and why they do what they do, and it's cool. I mean, I'm sure with your students,
oh my gosh, yes. And that's one thing that I try to tell them. I'm like, this is making a connection. I'm like, yes, it's radio. They don't see it at the time, but I'm like, it's a very emotional connection. Mm-hmm. Like you're building a bond, and even over the semesters, just building a bond with the kids in a sense and gaining their trust. But I tell them like at the beginning of the first day of class, like I have 2 rules. One is communication. Mm-hmm. Communicate with me. We're in a communications class. It's going to get you a long way. Like you're an adult now.
Yep.
Second thing is respect. Yeah. That's the biggest thing. I said, you could call me whatever you feel comfortable. Sabrina, Mrs. Kissinger, Sabrina Ruiz, Professor, whatever. It's just Sabrina. I don't care. As long as you're respectful, that's cool. Mm-hmm. You give me respect, I will give you respect. Mm. I'm not going to talk down to you. Right. So that's the biggest thing. Where were we going?
So, Sabrina, you're also a woman of faith. You were talking about Jesus and God, and
I grew up in a very strict Catholic household. Mm-hmm. We went to Mass every Sunday. Where was it? It's in Claremont, Our Lady of Assumption. Mm-hmm. Every Sunday, sometimes even going with my grandparents. Like when we were visiting out there, we would go. Just seeing my grandparents so much invested in their faith, and it was always with me. And then when I got older, of course, life, I feel like you tend to pull away from it. Maybe you're not going as consistently. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that was me, but I was always spiritual in a sense. I think I got old enough to know what I wanted to believe in and figure life out in a sense. That's terrible to say, but I needed to go what I went through just to know like, oh, yeah, I can't do this on my own.
Yeah.
Like God is there. So I always had my faith because I wouldn't have got where I was without him.
Yeah.
And of course there was those low pits. I think this is where I'm going to get emotional. And I told
That's
myself, like, don't get emotional, don't cry. But it's true. So like early on in my career, I like when you have that spirituality, like, of course you could see those visions and you could hear his voice so clear. And I've had that several times. And even when I got my start in Vegas, like, oh my gosh, I cried myself to sleep like every night because that was my first time away from home, first time away from family. I prayed every night.
Yeah.
And that
got you through it.
And I think a year went by when I was still there. And then finally, I was like, God, I'm ready to go home. I told myself I'm going to give myself a year. I had already bought a place out there, so I was loving it, but I still missed home. And then I saw the job opening. I was like, God, if this is it, I know you're going to make way for it. Like, I leave it in your hands. And sure enough, it was. Got a call. I like submitted my application, everything, and I got a call within 9 minutes. And it was just like that. So yes, I could do my hard work, but I'm always going to trust in his plan. And I think that's really what helped me with where I'm at right now and helping me make that decision because I already saw the writing on the wall in this sense last year. And then as time was going on, I heard his voice so clear. I remember I think it was this time last year, I was meeting up with friends and we're talking. And I just kept hearing God say like, next month is going to happen. Like something's going to change. And I was like, dang. So I kept that in the back of my head. And then I remember like just every morning going into work, I would do my prayer on the 10 freeway. And I was like, God, I give it to you. I know something's going to happen. It's going to change my life. I said, you brought me here. I'm not going to be able to leave this unless it's your doing. So sure enough, that's when there was some changes with music director position. They were outsourcing it. And I'm like, okay, I was prepared. And I told God, I was like, I'm an emotional person. I was like, do not let me cry. Let me hold everything. And I was so proud of myself. I had the best poker face.
Awesome.
I was like,
I could do this.
I was like so proud of myself. And I was like, okay, I held my own. I did everything I needed to do. And it was crazy because, so this is back in July 2024. And I was on a Zoom call, like previewing music, talking with label rep. And they're like, oh yeah, this is going to come out August 5th. We're going to do ad dates. And I'm on this call and God was just like, you're not going to be able to help out with this. And I'm like deer in the headlights, like, what? What do you mean? And I continue on with the Zoom call, trying to not like show the guy that I'm freaking out inside after hearing this so clear. And I get the Zoom call, like I'm writing down the dates. And I kid you not, God was like, you're not going to finish at, like, this month is your last month doing this. And I was just like, okay. End the Zoom call. And I'm like looking at my calendar. And I see the mid-month. I was like, what do you mean this is my last? Like, this is it? Like, I'm not going to be the music director anymore? And sure enough, like, that was it. He was, like, telling me. So I can't ignore that voice. I know there has been, like, supernatural things that I can't explain, and that's just the faith.
Yeah.
So it's what's got me this far.
No, it's good that you've always had the faith, and you never really, I mean, I think it's a good thing. And let me say this. I think it's a good thing when you veer off course. The reason why I say that's a good thing is because you need to fall.
Yes.
You need to fall.
Yeah.
To become, to get that humility and cry out to God again and say, I need you.
I can't do this on my own.
I can't do this on my own. Like, it's so funny because like the film La Dolce Vita, which we talk about, is one of my favorite films ever.
He always brings it up.
I do. No, it's true. Because, it was like, I was telling you, I was going 110 miles an hour, Sabrina. And, I was, going everywhere in Hollywood and doing my thing. And, I almost forgot about God, in a way, because I started living for myself.
Oh, yeah.
And things were going so well for me. And it wasn't the money. It was just the trajectory, my speed, of my momentum of just a rocket. I was a rocket. And, if whatever I'm doing now must be right because everything's working out for me in the world, so I don't want to change nothing, and I'm stubborn, and God knows that. He had to break me fully and to the very bottom. And, you know how they say that God will only test you as far as you are able to, take it. But I go, if we weren't dancing on that line, man, I tell you, because we were pretty close, and, but I'm thankful that I stumbled because what else would have slapped me in the face and woke me up? I'm thankful that I stumbled and grew up, matured, and I needed that. I needed that fall because, if I continued on without really much of a stumble, I'd still be doing my thing, and in a way, that's sad for a man because, how long can you just be living for yourself? So when I woke up finally, it is a gift. It is a gift to get that wake up call, whatever that is in your life. And to me, I thank God for that. I truly do. I thank God that I got smacked in the face and hit the ground hard. Because what else would have woke? Because I'm stubborn.
Yeah.
What else would have woken me up? It's a gift. It's truly a gift. And for those who haven't gotten there yet, it's not to be fearful of my downfall, of, oh my God, am I going to have a big downfall? Everybody's life is different. Yeah,
not everybody has it like that.
But if you have had that, if you woke up from that, perfect. That's great, That's my outlook on it anyway. Not to get too deep, but yeah, it's true though, because, with radio and everything, we wrap our identity around it.
Yes.
It's our brand. It's how we market ourselves on social media. And when you do that and everything just kind of falls, it's not just a job loss. It's not even just a career loss. It's your identity gone.
Oh, yeah. And I think that was one of the things that I had to step back, especially within last year, was I was making it an idol. I was chasing after it too much.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, it's something that I do. It's not me. Yes, it'll always have a part of me because I loved it so much. But that was one of the things that, God was like, yo, let's get back to reality. Come back. And I needed that because then it forced me to make the change. Because I probably wouldn't have, I would have probably still been stuck there in a sense. But I needed the signs and him to be really stern with me. Like, look, this is going to happen. You prayed on it. And I'm like, okay. And then finally, like, end of last year, I was just like, okay, well, how much am I going to like put myself through this unhappiness? And I was like, well, I need to do it on my terms. And that's when I said to myself, I want to be able to sign off and be able to say thank you to listeners because no one gets that opportunity. And I was like,
awesome.
Yeah. So I made sure that I was ready to go. Yes, I cried leading up to it, but it was a lot of praying and getting to that moment. And just being able to have that with listeners, it's like, I gave you 7 years of my life. I told you all my deepest, darkest secrets.
We're family.
That's literally how it was. And like, I'm glad I was able to close that chapter, get to say my piece, and have my final say and get to be in charge of that. With that, it's now I've had more time to focus on me and my health. And I think that's the biggest thing because I'm like, okay, I'm not in my 20s anymore. Like, it all goes downhill. No more. It all goes downhill from there. I'm like, all the stuff that I did, like just chasing after my career, I'm like, oh my gosh, I put like me at the back burner and I gave too much myself to a company. And I'm like, okay, God, I see it. Like, let me get back to getting myself in a good spot. So yes, I needed that point of breaking down and like having my meltdown moments and crying and thinking like, why?
I think we all have them.
So I'm more appreciative of everything and it's made me grow for sure.
And that growth, man, it's in today's world, there's a book that I just bought called The Coddling of the American Mind or something like that, where you know, a lot of the younger kids are very, you know, they're not really growing up. They're very immature and they're very, you know, they're man, you know, like that new Sabrina Carpenter song, Man Child or whatever. But it goes for females as well, you know, and it can, you know, where these people are 30, 40 years old and they're still like thinking like kids, you know, in a way where they haven't fully grown up. And part of that is the world we live in today. But what a blessing it is to mature and get older. To start thinking like an older person, to have established yourself a home, a son, you know, a husband, you know, getting older is truly, as you know, a blessing. It really is. People get scared because they get old and they get this, they get that. But, you know, we're all going to die. And the closer we get to that point, and, you know, if God willing that we're still alive that long, great. Or I can just go back to, you know, going to my Hollywood apartment and
in Los Feliz,
and put on a suit and say, Michelle, just call me Marcello and come have a fast with me. Marcello.
That's how it went down for sure.
It's a wild ride, man.
Oh yeah.
This industry is just a wild ride. I mean, Hollywood in itself is just it. You know, your son wants to be an actor, and I think about that and I go, God.
I think about it too.
Right? It's a wild world, man.
But I think I told you the story before, but not that I was ever mad because I always wanted to encourage his dream.
Right.
But I took him to the acting classes. I took him to the auditions and But I did tell him, you have to finish school. You have to finish all that. You're not going to be one of those kids that makes it famous and I'm going to let you drop out of everything. Once you turn 18, you could do whatever you want. But every single, except I could think of maybe on one hand, the child actors that seem on social media like they're okay. Yeah. That's it. Because all the other 45 are strung out on drugs, tattooing their face.
They've all had that downfall.
Killed themselves, gotten killed by overdoses. I refuse to see him go through it. And he fought me a lot. Like, it was really hard that, like, oh, you don't want me to do it. You don't want me to do it. And I'm like, one day you're going to understand what I mean, because God forbid somebody touch him or hurt him or something happened when he was younger. And I wanted to shield and shelter him from all of that because I knew it was going on.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, no, when you turn 18 and you're old enough to do whatever you want. So now, I mean, I feel like maybe I made it harder for him, preventing him from making it when he was younger. So now it's a struggle for him trying to do it now. But I wanted him to have a life as a kid. No. I want you to have a normal childhood with a family that loves you. And then you go out into this harsh, hard world and know it's a dog eat dog world now. Now that you're big and grown and strong, you can do that on your own. So it's kind of one of those things where, do I regret holding him back from a lot of stuff? He doesn't seem mad at me now. I think he realizes,
especially with all the documentaries that have come out over the years.
And I try to get him to watch them, like especially that one on Max. I forget what it's called, but it's
Nickelodeon
awful.
one.
Yes, it's awful. And I told him that's my era because I watched Nickelodeon. It was my era to watch all that, and I got to see those kids when you watch those videos back. You could see the sadness in their eyes and how they act a different way because they're actors. That's what they're trained to do, and you don't know what's going on behind that. And I didn't want him to go through any of that.
Who were aware of it and were okay with it.
Yeah, because everybody just sees the dollar signs, and they see I can get away from my parents. There's no rules here. I get money. I can just divorce them. I can, I can take my own money and do what I want. It's the greed a little. It's the immaturity because they're not there yet. I really hope Damon makes it big. I really hope he does because that's his dream since he could speak. Is that's all he's ever wanted to do. And I told him, you have to just keep at it. And his plan is to move over to the LA area because that's where all the auditions are.
That's
I know. I'm like, don't live in Los Feliz. No, I'm kidding.
Los Feliz was a safe zone.
No, I know. Live only around there. In or around there. Any closer to Hollywood. No, I think he wants to live near LA just so it's not so far to drive over there.
Well, the good thing about him is he's made his own money because I think most of the kids in Hollywood are trust fund babies.
Yeah.
And here's what I figured out. Most of those kids have parents who are back in New Jersey, and they keep selling this lie to their parents.
Yeah.
I'm on the brink of getting this job, this role. Can you please keep funding my apartment? And the parents, still do, and they do that for years.
It's so funny that you bring up New Jersey because even when I was still in the radio and dealing with the music labels, it's crazy to me how many people from New Jersey move out to LA.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are you guys all from New Jersey? Like, what is going on?
It's the next best thing over here.
It's wild though, right? Why New Jersey?
I don't know. You know what I think it is because they're on a coast and they miss the coast.
Right.
Yeah.
So the only they're not going to make it big in South Carolina or something like that. Well, so the only coast where the money is at and profitable is California.
But even the LA nightlife has kind of died off a little bit. Everybody we talk to, they're like, it's a lot. And I don't know the reason because I'm not a expert in what the economic nightlife scene or whatever. But here's my take: nobody wants to pay $24 for a Jack and Coke.
Nobody. Yeah. And speaking of dying off, I just heard that the Beetlejuice bar, I guess it was meant to be temporary right there on that corner, is closing soon.
Is it still open?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they made it. It was supposed to be like a pop-up, and they made it like a permanent, semi-permanent thing for a little while.
A shout out to that Beetlejuice bar because that was the bar where I had a smoked old-fashioned with Michelle Zuno, and she brought the most brilliant idea. And she said, Freddie, we need to do a podcast.
Right in Dante's Inferno.
And this That's where we were. It was. Isn't that funny? I have
the picture somewhere. That's the big mouth going into flames
It's like my hell was just beginning.
Yeah. And I was like, let's walk into hell, get a drink. Let me talk to you, Freddie. And we're going to walk out of hell holding hands.
I didn't realize how hard it was going to get, but there I am having
it was a serious talk too.
It was
what a place to do that at.
Right?
Yeah, because we had it was like 2 cocktails maybe while we were there, but they were intense cocktails. So they were like
it was Halloween too. So everybody was in
everybody
costume.
was dressed up. and we had it was like a little private corner. We're all by ourselves. And it was like nobody else was there. We could hear all this loud chatter, but it was like zoomed in on just us. And I could only hear us. And we were in this serious conversation.
It was like everything faded. And
it was the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
And then, we walked out feeling like it was a goal.
Yeah.
And like something to look forward to. That's what I liked.
You gave me hope and something to be excited about.
Yeah.
And it took a long time to build the studio, obviously. From that point on till the studio was built was like, 2 years.
Yeah.
Probably,
But still, it was the seed that was planted and
all it takes is that seed.
Yeah.
Man, I tell you, maybe that's the perfect metaphor. Being in a hell-like situation.
I know, it was
but still having hope and
symbolic.
faith that
Honestly, it really is symbolic. Like getting pulled out of that.
It
Right.
totally wasn't
Right.
planned because you think Beetlejuice, you're like, yeah. But
Dante.
it was a big old mouth red with the teeth. It was crazy. It was crazy. Now that I think about it, I didn't even think about it until right now in this moment that we like walked into hell, walked out of hell.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly. Sabrina. It's funny. This is why we need to stay. Have fellowship, keep our friends, and keep our family. As much as possible. As you get older, I mean, they just shed just naturally anyway.
Yeah.
So
And the ones that stay with you see your potential and see the good in you. They see you. They can call you out. And and all the good stuff. So
you're multi-talented. You've been through a lot. You're refocused again. What are you looking forward to in this next season of life?
Ooh, I think this next season is all about my health.
Good.
Yeah. My husband has been so strong through all this because I'm like, I know I'm an emotional person. I know I could be a lot. And I think it was funny when we said our vows on our wedding day. I was like, through sickness and in health.
Yep.
And I was aiming that towards him because even while we were dating, I was there by his side, whatever health things that he was going through. And little did I know that it was going to be me on the other end. And he's been so good. So he's like, no, if you want to be a stay-at-home mom, I'm like, okay, our spending habits got to change. And I got a little taste of that earlier in this year. But even now, he's not putting the pressure on me. It's just my body needs to heal. Like I was just under so much stress and like constant go. And I'm like, okay, I'm sorry, body. Let me try to heal you again. I'll just go ahead and say it. So I found out recently that I have autoimmune. Like I was going for other things, for fertility stuff, just to see if we would be good for that. Because in the past, I was going for PCOS. I don't know if you know what that is. So
what is PCOS?
Polycystic ovary syndrome.
Okay.
So I had cysts on my ovaries.
It'd be very painful.
Yeah. So growing up, I didn't know what it was. And then I had one surgically removed that was like the size of an orange. And then the doctor was just like, hope I never see you again. I'm like, yeah, me too. Didn't tell me like, hey, this was going to be something that you deal with in the future. And like another doctor was just like, hey, here's some ibuprofen. And that's pretty much it. I'm like, what's going on? And it wasn't until one of my sister's friends who's an OBGYN, and she was just like, tell me all your symptoms. I'm like, well, this has happened in the past. I had a cyst burst. I ended up in the hospital, all that stuff. And she's like, you have PCOS. I was like, what is that? And she's like naming all the symptoms of like fatigue, terrible periods. Sorry, Freddy. All the above. And like some women could have hair coming out like all over, facial hair. But the big thing was the irregular menstrual cycle and whatnot. And I was like, oh, that's not normal. Like there was actual thing behind it. And there's like so many symptoms with it. And so many women are dealing with it.
And hard to get pregnant if you're trying. Yeah.
Yeah. It was never told to me. And it was a thing in the back of my head. And then now that told my husband and I said like, okay, 5 years, then we can think about kids. And we wanted it to just be us. And then when I was finally getting out of radio, I was like, okay, now it's the time. Yeah. And I'm just like, okay, well, am I healthy for this? So it was finding out that I got diagnosed with so many things. PCOS, Hashimoto's, that was a stunner for me. Hypothyroidism. And then most recently, like it was just snowball effect. And then having food allergies and going anti-inflammatory.
The thyroid issue, I feel like there's a lot more people
that was me
nowadays,
for years
right?
and years and years. It's awful.
Yeah. I didn't know. I think I was just so oblivious to it. But now that I'm stepped back and the only thing I could focus on is my health, I think that's the biggest blessing. And I needed that like reset. So this is my reset period of getting my body back in to order. And being kind to it. And fixing all the years of just me on go. And just chasing after.
Yeah. But Sabrina, the fact that you're still so young, and you could have worked, your career could have kept blossoming. You could have ended up in corporate making a lot of money. And how long would you have stayed there without, saying, hey, whoa, hold on a second. You know?
Yeah, I need to take care of me.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have checked engine light. Like I would have ignored it. I wouldn't have seen the signs. I mean, I kind of saw the signs as like one of the things with the Hashimoto's and the PCOS was like rapid weight gain, no matter what.
What is Hashimoto?
So it is a thyroid condition where your thyroid is attacking your body, essentially. The antibodies are like attacking your thyroid. A big thing has been going gluten-free. I never thought I would be that person going gluten-free, but it was a lot of me researching it. Trust me, I've been to specialists. Like, it's crazy. Specialist after specialist and getting opinions and seeing an endocrinologist and trying to learn because they don't tell you the thing. They're just like, here's a pill and take it.
You really got to do the work yourself sometimes.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of me like researching, like finding out what Hashimoto's was because they told me and I was like, what the heck is that? And then I'm like,
sounds like a city in Japan.
Yeah, it is. It's named after a Japanese guy. So there's like so many symptoms that come with it of like brain fog, chronic fatigue. Like I could have got enough night's sleep. Didn't matter. I was always tired. Fatigue, brain fog, and then sometimes chronic pain. But my body couldn't regulate temperature. So I could be outside in 110 degree weather sitting in my car and I would still like feel cold.
Wow.
And I knew there was a problem when I was like sitting in San Bernardino at the radio station during my lunch. Like, I'm not sweating. This is the problem. It's over 110 degrees outside, and I'm sitting here for over 10 minutes and not a break of sweat. So it was a lot of me researching and seeing, okay, I had to go anti-inflammatory. And then fast forward, my husband and I went on a trip back in December 2024, and we went French Polynesia, clean food. Wow. Like island living, fruits, fresh meat from New Zealand.
Don't the fruits like abroad taste so much better than
they do.
Oh, man.
They do.
And it was all that clean eating for a week and like being reset into the water and just like grounding myself where my body felt at peace. Obviously because of the destination, but it was literally what I was eating, what I was consuming. And then I came back and my body revolted.
Yeah.
It was like
definitely our food.
Our food is so gross here. And so my body was just like, what are you doing? And that's when I found out that I had food allergies, like all the things I was able to eat.
You know, it's like food isn't going to have food allergies at this point, though, because there's so many processed things. And it's like, I even chat GPT'd it. I said, you know, I've always kind of, if I don't take a Claritin D, I'll bloat, you know, for all these bad foods. And it says, well, this is probably why you're bloating because you have a histamine, allergy. And what causes histamine allergies?
Everything.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow.
Air.
Yeah, our air's terrible.
Air.
Yeah, United States air.
Yeah, the smoke, the pollen, the grass.
But nowadays, you know, it does help to, you know, do the work on your own like you were doing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of me researching and I'm like, oh, why didn't they tell me to go gluten-free? Like, because there's a protein in the bread, that gluten, the thing that holds everything together, gives it that sponginess, and it mimics the thyroid.
Yeah.
And the thyroid, like it flares it off. And so.
What did they do during the biblical times of breaking bread? I mean, obviously it was made differently.
Yeah, made differently. It's not sprayed with glyphosate and all these other pesticides. And that's the big thing. And that's the thing too. When I was in French Polynesia, there were probably regulations of what is sprayed on crops. It's probably very clean. They're making their own. It's not processed like ours is to last over 30 days on a shelf.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
yeah, if it lasts a long time in the fridge, probably not not good. Although dates will last a long time. Dates will. Medjool dates. Yeah.
That's why people laugh at me because I'll go grocery shopping so often, but it's because I'm buying for like just those few days because I want my stuff fresh and I don't want to buy groceries once a month and stock up and only eat, you know, the food unless I'm freezing it, of course. Yes. But I don't want to like buy the processed bags, cans. I hardly ever go in my pantry anymore. Everything is just fresh out of my fridge, and it took a long time to get there. Took a long time. I don't
eat cereal like I used to. You know.
Yeah, I hardly ever eat it. Yeah.
It's funny. I finally went on like a kick of wanting cereal ever since I got diagnosed with all that food allergies.
Of course, now you want it all.
Stuff that I was like, I didn't eat bread before.
What is your cereal, Sabrina?
Oh gosh, I feel like an old person when I say this. So now it's like
she's all grape nuts.
Wow.
My husband makes fun of me. He's like, Raisin Bran is your favorite one. I was like, no.
Raisin Bran's my dad's favorite.
I mean, growing up, my mom didn't. She bought what was on sale, what they could afford. She wasn't buying. Yeah, she would get Fruit Loops here and there, Fruity Pebbles, whatever. But honestly, Honey Bunches of Oats was my ish.
So good.
I have a weakness with chocolate chip cookies, right? And I like even to this day, as a grown man, and everything I've been through in life, all the ups and downs and the hards and the softs and everything, I still eat cookies like a child, and with milk.
Yeah,
got to be something.
And so I had to chat GPT and figure it out. And like, okay, so what can wean me off of chocolate chip cookies all the time? Because I eat them almost every day. And for me, it was medjool dates. You get a date, you cut it open, you put a little almond butter on it or something like that. Oh man, and it's really helped.
I've seen so many videos about that. I have not gotten to that stage just yet, the medjool dates stage.
I'm more really of a bacon wrap dates person myself.
Oh yeah. So there's this restaurant in LA called Bavel, which Mediterranean.
I've been there with you.
And that's right. Yes, we got to go back. Mm-hmm. We got to go back. We just got. You know what we got to do?
Bavel is good.
We just got to do some dinners. Maybe you and your husband would love for you guys to come down, and we could just do dinners and just little potluck or something. Yeah. Why don't more people do that? It's fun. It's adult.
Yeah, but there needs to be more of that.
Yeah,
I agree. Yeah.
Get back to the community.
Yep.
Exactly. It is community. But yeah, no, you're right though. And as we're getting older, it's true. I mean, I can't be eating Oreos or Chips Ahoy every single day. And I'll be honest with you.
So I would if I could.
Yeah. Like sometimes I'll be in here and I could eat a whole roll just sitting here, and I'm like, it's so bad. It is so bad. Because then I'll go to the gym. I'll go to the gym every day.
Like, I'll work it out.
Yeah.
It just evens it out. It doesn't help you at all.
The thought process. But man, it's wild though. But you know what? Listening to you, Sabrina, I think we touched base on something more important than radio. And it's connection, and it's community. And that's what we really, really, that's what I want. And that's what we really need in today's world more than ever before, because things are going to, if they get more chaotic, fine, let them get chaotic. It's fine with me, whatever. Yeah. The bottom line is, we have what's important to us, and we got to have a little bit of community. Reach out and, stay in contact and help each other out and just kind of, have fun, hang out, whatever. And that's important in today's world,
Yes.
It really is. It's not about radio. It's not about title. It's not about how much you make. It's not about what job or car you drive. None of that. Nobody cares about that anymore anyway.
Can't take it with you.
No, you can't.
Exactly. Because on Thursday, when I record the show, I try to eat nothing until afterwards.
Reward yourself.
But I'm so hungry right now. I'm like, oh, it's so good.
Sorry, I won't talk about food. But
he's all, stop talking about the gluten.
I mean, that's been like the majority of like these past couple months, I feel like, is kind restoring my body with the food that I'm intaking and figuring out what I can eat, being experimentative and making recipes at home. A lot of it eating at home and doing research. And it's crazy to think that I've turned into this person that's like looking at everything that's what's being cooked with. I have to avoid seed oils. Like the biggest thing is this.
The seed oils are bad for everybody though, aren't they?
So that's the biggest trigger for me is just because of all of my allergies. It's like a domino effect. So soy oil, soybean is in everything. So my life has revolved around cooking, eating at home, eating a healthier, anti-inflammatory, hanging out with my dog, and the real estate. I think that's pretty much it. I'm trying to I want to get back into my creative aspect of radio, and I'm hoping
you will.
Yeah.
Oh,
I just
you definitely will.
To give myself time to grieve.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, Sabrina, what else? Oh, I guess, with what you've been through in your life, and there's a lot of people who are going through this similarly right now, and there's a lot of people who are going through a really hard time. With the lessons you've learned in your life personally, what can you share that you've learned that was so important to you?
My faith. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Don't cry. No, it's like so cliche, but it's so true. My darkest moments where I thought the world was ending, my world was ending. It's like there's light at the end of the tunnel, however cliche it may sound. I just know God wins in the end, so I know everything's going to be okay.
And that faith goes a long way. And I think that's what the issue with the younger people too is they're young, so they're not able to fathom, to understand the big picture like we do. Like we can see, closer to the end, right? But when you're young, you only have this limited knowledge and experience of life, so you can't see past that. So when things, really go bad, and this is all your world, it could really spiral quickly. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I feel like there's people who, you need mentors. You need people to look up to. You need guidance that's outside of your little world. Somebody who can see further. Like good parents. A good mother could take a kid a long way. And just that alone. Planting the seed of well, here's the word. Here's the Bible. It may not make sense to you now, but at some point it will. And when it does, it'll
funny
hit
how that
right
happens.
there. Yeah.
Like you hear it growing up. I heard it growing up, and the Bible stories of everything. And I want to say it wasn't until recently, maybe the past couple of years, my husband and I started watching The Chosen. I don't know if you heard about that show.
Of course, yeah.
We got really into it. I think that helped us in our relationship and us with our faith,
nice.
and just like putting the picture to the word.
It's kind of cool, right? To have like a visual finally and it's cool because you don't think about because I guess in The Chosen, they in subtle ways emphasize Jesus had a sense of humor also. It wasn't just just serious deep talks 100% of the time. But it's a very human way to connect. And
that's what he was. He was human.
Yeah.
And it's funny that you bring up the humor because it's so true. There's stuff that happens in life. You're like, God, you're funny.
Yeah, right.
Like, several times.
Yes. That's funny.
Yeah.
Well, Sabrina, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. And, it was great to learn a lot about you and your life too. And, everything that I take with me because, I fall short in so many things, and, for example, I talked very high about me eating dates, but tomorrow I could be in a bag of Oreos,
Tomorrow he's going to be back to eating chocolate chip cookies. I'm just saying.
You FaceTime me, I have crumbs like, hey, what? I'm sorry. No. But Sabrina, thank you for being on the show for the first time. And let's give it up for Sabrina Ruiz.
Yay.
Thank you.